And welcome everyone to my brand new Let's Play series. As always, this is your loving host Gord, and this is FTL, or Faster Than Light. It's a real-time strategy game that was recently developed by an indie games developer. I forget the name of the developer exactly, but I will link their website in the description. It's a great game, and I suggest you go out and buy it. Right now, as of this recording, you can go out and buy it for $9 from their website. It's an awesome deal for a game of this caliber, and you should really be supporting indie game developers, especially ones as talented as these people. And yeah, it's a great game all around. So it's a real-time strategy game based in space combat and space exploration, but it's not like a run-and-gun kind of game. It's more about like managing your systems and your crew members efficiently to basically make it through all the encounters you will encounter. So as I go through this game, I'm going to be kind of explaining some of it as I go along. I won't be playing the tutorial. I'll be starting a new game because I've already done the tutorial and I've already gone through the game a couple times. I've actually made it twice to the final boss on easy difficulty and have been murdered quite badly by the final boss. Haven't beat the game yet, so I'm going to be continuing on by starting a new game on easy, and let me show you guys around a little bit first. So I've unlocked a secondary ship by making it about halfway through the game, but I'm going to be starting off with the starter ship because this is what you guys will get right off the bat, and also I prefer the combat style associated with this first ship you get. It's much different than the other ship, but we'll get into that later. So right off the bat, here's our ship, as well as the different rooms and systems we have in our ship. If I highlight one of these, you can see on the side there, it explains what it is. We have our shields, our engines, our oxygen, our weapon control, our med bay, our piloting, our sensors, and our door system. That's all gibberish to you guys, I know. But I will explain as I go along. We also have a couple starting weapons. We have a missile launcher. Now the missile launchers, we have a finite amount of missiles, although we can buy more, and we'll get some from looting enemy ships and such. And we have our lasers, which are pretty much an infinite power source. We just gotta keep, they have to recharge, but we can fire them as much as we want. So that's gonna be our primary weapon. We start out with 3 crew member, which we see right here. Now I can customize them if I wanted to, but I'm going to leave them as it is. I'm also going to leave the name of our ship as it is, the Kestrel. And we have Bars, Kletskin, you're going to be called Klet, and Maria. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get started in this, and I'll kind of explain as we go. Ooh, started in a nebula. I've never seen that happen before. The data you carry is vital to the remaining Federation fleet. You'll need supplies for the journey, so make sure to explore each sector before moving on to the next. But get to the exit before the pursuing rebel fleet can catch up to you. So the basic story of this is the Federation is pretty down. It's almost beat, and as you can see, you're carrying data that's vital, and you're getting through sector to get to the Federation and get them their data, and then you can take out the rebel boss and whatnot. And we have a tip here: bomb weapons. Bombs teleport directly onto either ship. They bypass shields and defense drones. However, they affect crew and systems. They do not damage the ship's hull. Okay, all gibberish to you guys, I know. So let's start off here. We're in a nebula, which kind of sucks. Our sensors are down, so we can only see into rooms that we have a crew member already in. It also seems like we're in a no, it's just a nebula. I thought there was a storm too, but there's not. Alright, so we have all this stuff here. I'm going to kind of explain some of it, but I'm going to do it rather quickly, as these will be 20-minute segments, and I want to get into the action. So we have our hull here, and our hull is our basic life meter. I believe there's 30 bars here, and as we lower our hull, once it gets down to 0, our ship explodes, and that's game over. So we don't want to do that. We have our shields, which will be our first line of defense, preventing damage to our hull, so that's good. We also have our amount of fuel. Each time we go from one area to another, we use 1 fuel. So we can buy more, we can also find more, but we don't want that to get to 0 because then we'll be stranded, and I can only assume that means game over. Number of missiles, as I said, missiles are a finite resource, so we won't be going all willy-nilly on those, but I mean we can buy more, and we can sometimes we'll find more, so I will be using them, you know, maybe once or twice per battle, probably like once. And some drone parts. Now, we probably won't be seeing too much of drones in this one, but if I do get drones, every time I use one, they'll consume one drone part. So there. Here we have our scrap, which it's basically currency in this game. We can use it to trade for, we can buy more fuel, missiles, and whatnot. We can also use it to upgrade our ship. We can use it to buy crew members, weapons, all sorts of good things. So it's good to keep an eye on our scrap. Down here is our reactor. Each one of these bars is a power segment that can be relayed to each of our systems. As you can see here, we have our shields. Every two bars of shields down here gives us one layer of shields up here. And each layer of shields will block one laser. So it would take two lasers fairly close together to do any damage to my ship. Right here we have our engines. We need some power to them in order to be able to make faster than light jumps. Also, with power to the engines, you can dodge incoming attacks. You have a chance to evade missiles or lasers and whatnot. Here we have our oxygen. Now, oxygen is fairly important in space because we have to keep it up so that all our dudes can survive and not suffocate to death. But also oxygen plays an interesting role in the fact if we get fires on our ship, we can open some of these doors and drain oxygen out of certain parts of our ship, and that'll put out fires or suffocate intruders. So, interesting things. Right here we have our weapons. Now our weapons, when we go to charge them up, they will take power from a reactor and put them into weapons. And as you see, they're charging up, and once they're fully charged, they're ready to be fired, and we can fire them on an enemy ship. Over here we have our subsystems, and these subsystems don't require power from the reactor, so they're a lot easier to upgrade, because we don't have to upgrade our reactor at the same time. And our three subsystems right now are piloting, which we need somebody piloting in order to be able to make a faster than light jump. Also, somebody needs to be piloting in order to evade any attacks. Right here we have our sensors, which are currently down because we started in a nebula, and they're interfering with our sensors. But with sensors, we can see inside any rooms in our ship. As you can see, we can't really... These would be white if we could see inside them. They're only white right now if we send somebody else inside. And here are our doors. Now, if we didn't have power to our doors, or if our door systems were damaged, we wouldn't be able to open doors. We could also open all the doors at once, close them all at once, etc. So the first thing I like to do is each of the systems, well, not all of them, but some of them, gain bonuses if you have somebody manning them. So one of the things I want to do is I'm going to have somebody manning the shield and somebody manning the weapons. So that way we'll gain faster recharge for the weapons and faster recharge for the shields. Over time, they'll gain experience in certain areas, and for example, Maria, who is currently manning the weapons, she will, over time, she'll gain experience in weapons, and will give an extra bonus to our recharge rate on our weapons for the more experience she has. So I'm going to keep her there for the rest of the game, and eventually she'll get leveled up, and we'll get nice bonuses from her manning our weapons. Same with the dude on our shields, and same with the dude piloting up here. So without further ado, let's make our first jump and take a look at the world map, or the beacon map showing this sector. It's not a world, it's an open universe kind of thing. Alright, so as you can see right now, these blue areas are nebulas. So I generally tend to avoid them because as you can see, our sensors are all screwed up. In some of the nebulas, you'll see energy storms, which will shut down some of our systems, and it's just not pleasant to be in combat in those areas. So let's see where we can travel to. Now, our end goal for each sector is to get to the exit. Rebels will start to take over areas of the map, beginning on this side and moving their way to the right over time. And any area that a rebel controls, once we enter it, we will be in for a very dangerous fight. And so we won't be entering any areas that the rebels control, because they're pretty hard to handle and we don't want to be dealing with them. So let's move out. Let's go over to here to this unvisited location. As you can see, we have a store over here, but stores aren't very useful in the beginning of the game as we won't have that much currency. Alright, so we detect a rebel automated ship nearby. It is not engaged and seems to be patrolling around a long-range sensor station. So we have two choices. We can attack the automated ship to get the sensor station, which would give us information on our map about the rest of the areas in this sector, or we could avoid provoking the ship. Now, avoiding things is boring, so let's get in and let's attack this guy. So as you can see, I can push space to pause at any time, and you can see the ship and you can see where their systems are laid out, and we have our weapons down here. So this is where the strategy comes in. I have quite a few choices, the systems that I can start to damage, but the main two that I would want to damage are shields or weapons. Now, this particular ship doesn't have any shields, so I would want to damage his weapons. Now, as you can see, he fired a beam across my weapons area, which damaged my weapons. As you can see here, 1 bar of energy is damaged, which means I can't use this and this. That would take up 3 bars, and I don't have access to all 3 bars. So until that's repaired, I can only use 1 at a time. So for now, I'm going to fire a missile at his weapon systems to hopefully deactivate his weapons so that we won't be attacked while we fight him, which is good. Usually you want to start off by attacking their weapons or attacking their shields. It's really up to you. But I depending on the situation, I'll attack one or the other. So he's just repaired the weapons, so now we can put those back on to charge. And as you can see over here, their weapons systems are red, meaning they're out. They don't have access to their weapons, so they're sitting ducks essentially. So we're going to wait for our burst lasers to charge up here. And this actually should finish them off. And there we go. Our first kill. So, you have access to the recent scans from the underground station, or unguarded station, sorry. Your map has been updated with details of the surrounding area, and I gained 11 scrap. So, scrap is good for upgrading my ship, which I could do now, but I'm going to wait till I have a bit more. But now, if I choose to jump to a location, now we can see all the different things. All these exclamation points are possible encounters. Usually we're going to see a ship there. And now we see a distress beacon over on this side of the map. So what we're going to do is we're going to plot a course going around this way. But we are going to try and get into a couple fights along the way because we want to gather resources from destroying other ships. So let's plot to the next area. The nearby planet shows signs of habitation and a great beauty. Rudimentary automated planetary defense system is looping its message into space. Warning, quarantine level 5 in effect under FHA Act 22 Article 11.2. Warning, quarantine level 5. So we don't even have an option for anything there, probably because we don't have the right people or the right equipment at the time. It's all based on what we have at the moment, so let's run over here and let's get into a fight. We detect another automated rebel scout, this time attacking a small refueling outpost. So we have two choices. We can intervene and defend the outpost, or we can avoid the conflict. Again, avoiding things is boring, so let's intervene. Detecting the higher threat, the automated ship moves in to engage your ship. So let's continue. So let's pause, take a look. They do have one layer of shields, so our 3-round burst would penetrate it and do 2 damage to anything in here. So the first thing I want to do is, because my shields aren't upgraded yet, I want to take out their weapons first. So let's set this up to, as soon as it's fully charged, attack their weapons. So now unpause and let them charge up. So you can see they're almost charged, and when they are fully charged, they will fire away. Ooh, okay, so they got a shot off there. That wasn't pretty nice. So I'm actually going to use a missile, because I want to get their weapons out of the way pretty quickly, because they have a beam that can sweep across my ship and take out multiple things at once. They've actually damaged my door system, so now I can't go and open doors if I wanted to. I can't open any of them. I can't do anything. I mean, crew members can still manually open them as they go through them, but if there was a fire and I wanted to blow something out the airlock, I couldn't do that right now. So let's get their weapons taken out. And because it's an automated ship, I don't believe they have the ability to repair. They need crew members to repair. Fairly certain. So I'm pretty sure we're in the clear right now. They shouldn't be able to attack anymore. So let's finish these guys off. And once we get these guys finished off, we will set out on repairing our door system. Alright, this should do it. Alrighty. The ship breaks apart and we salvage what we can. So we get a missile, a drone part, and 12 scrap. The outpost hails you after the scout was destroyed. Thanks for the help. We've been harassed non-stop by these scouts. Take this on the house. So they give us 2 fuel, 1 drone part, and 25 scrap. Very nice. So, let's see what we got now. Okay, so let's repair that thing. I'm going to send 2 guys in here. Now, just by sending them into the room, they will automatically work on it. And as you can see down here, this bar is filling up, and there we go. It's repaired. So let's send Maria back over to weapons, and Clet back down to shields. And I have a bit more scrap, but not quite enough to do what I want to do yet. So let's make one more jump before I end this video off. You arrive near a damaged and dilapidated space station. It appears to be abandoned, but you detect faint life signatures on board. Now this is a risk-reward kind of situation. If I board the station and look for survivors, some of my crew members may not come back alive. Something might happen. Anything could happen, really. It's space. So I could play it safe and just get some scrap. Or I could board, and if I find survivors, I could possibly get another crew member. So I'm actually gonna go for it. Big reward. Okay. All around you is a stench of death and decay. Suddenly, one of your crew bends over and starts retching violently. Oh no. Some sort of disease must have wiped out the station. You pull back to the ship, but it looks like your crew member's not gonna make it. Oh, darn. Okay, so we lost Clet there. That's alright. I didn't like his name anyway. So, for now, Maria, you're getting switched over to shields, because it's more important for me to have shield recharge than it is weapons recharge. So unfortunately we lost somebody there, which really actually kind of sucks this early on. I would almost just turn it off and restart if I wasn't recording, but you know, I think we can still persevere. We'll find some more crew members down the road, and we'll get our crew back up in shape. So for now, though, I have 90, which will allow me to upgrade my stuff. So this is the upgrade screen, and here I can upgrade the capacity to store energy into each of these systems. So for an example, if I put 2 into shields, for every 2 you get 1 more here. I can't power them because I don't have enough power. So now I have to upgrade my reactor twice. So now I can put power into that. So it's fairly simple how that works, but it's much more expensive to upgrade main systems than subsystems. So that's going to be it for the first video. We're already down a crew member, which kind of sucks, but you know, if you like this series and you want to see more, click the like button. If you love it, click the favorite button. And if you you know, want to see more, subscribe. So yeah, comments also are always appreciated. You know, constructive criticism or just criticism or just saying, hey, I love your stuff. You know, anything's all good. And I try to reply to all the comments I get. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode. This has been Gord, and you guys take it easy out there.